Coming up on Cedar Valley today, Dream Big. Warburg students learn how to make their dreams come true.
And learning to lead. Hawkeye Community College starts in on a new program.
And Stop the Beetle. Waverly is actively preparing for an ash borer. All that and more coming up on Cedar Valley today.
Hello and welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Jacqueline Schutte.
And I'm Ashley Davis. Hawkeye Community College has decided to start a leadership program, something it has never offered in the past. Cedar Valley Today's Kelsey Bemis has more.
Thanks, Ashley. While Hawkeye's program may be new, the idea behind training leaders is not. This week I found out what makes the campus's LEAD program unique from other leadership trainings.
Leadership, excellence, actions, and decision-making. These are the four components that make up the acronym LEAD.
Get up, grab a card.
Like the title suggests, the program focuses on a variety of topics through a series of 10 sessions. Each session builds on the last, something important to this program.
Truly, if you want to have that edge on other competitors in your organization, you need to have some type of continuous education development.
Topics range from problem solving to time management. This month's session focused on finding individual strengths and team building.
I don't understand how you could effectively manage or lead a team without getting to know them better. If you don't know your team very well, I'm not sure how you think you're going to effectively manage or lead them.
The program is open to any emerging leader in the Cedar Valley. Despite different jobs, workplaces, and backgrounds, participants work together to develop fundamental leadership skills.
What I hope that people will take away is the skills that they need to be successful, the leadership elements, the excellence in their position, learning how to take action, and then making those decisions that can be tough.
Wither says he feels leadership programs are a hot topic in the Cedar Valley and that the addition of the LEAD program will allow growth beyond just the participants.
They're exchanging a lot of ideas, and it grows the Cedar Valley and grows the economy and grows business from where we're at today. So this is exciting.
Schultz says that those looking to join the program will have to wait until next year, but she says she thinks the structure will be similar due to the success they have seen so far.
What started as an accident has become a nationwide event and recently came to Wartburg. The Big Dream Gathering took place last night. The event allows students to give themselves permission to dream and make those dreams a reality. Co-founder of the Big Dream Gathering, Mitch Matthews, presented a keynote during this event. He says events like these change the atmosphere on campus.
Right, so one of the biggest things is we always say with the Big Dream Gathering isn't the end, it's a catalyst, it's a beginning. And so what we want to do is inspire people to think about their dreams and write some of them down. And so that's the beginning of the process. And we also talk about that, the importance of kind of getting clear on what are some small but significant steps that you can take towards that.
Each year, more than 30,000 adults and children in the U.S. are diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. That's about 80 people per day.
To this day, there's not a cure for diabetes, but in support of research, people in the Cedar Valley have been fundraising for the JDRF Walk to Cure Diabetes coming up this weekend in Waterloo.
Eastern Iowa JDRF Development Coordinator Michael Shirk joins us now to tell us more about this annual event.
Hi Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you ladies this morning?
Doing good. Can you explain to us what JDRF is and how it helps the Walk to Cure Diabetes?
Okay. JDRF is actually an acronym for Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And there's really two parts of what we do. Number one, of course, what you touched on is we fundraise to fund research for the cure, treatment, and prevention of type 1 diabetes. 82.5% of every dollar raised by JDRF or donated to JDRF goes directly towards research, which has landed us on Forbes Magazine's top 5 all-star charities. The other part of JDRF is we connect families and people with type 1 in what we call our outreach program. For those of us living with type 1 or have a loved one with type 1, we know that sometimes that it gets kind of dreary and things can get tough. And so what we try to do and what we are doing is building a huge support system in which those living with type 1 can kind of lean on one another when they need to.
And why do you have this event in February?
We had this event in February, and honestly, it's kind of a funny answer because we do a few events throughout the year. We do a JDRF Promise Gala, which we hold usually in the fall. We have a JDRF Ride to Cure Diabetes, which happens throughout the summer. The walk in February just happens to fit our schedule in regards to doing our major events. So that's why it's in February up here.
All right, thank you for joining us, Mike.
No problem, thank you.
Registration for the JDRF Walk to Cure Diabetes will begin at 7:30 on Saturday morning at the Crossroads Center in Waterloo.
The walk is 3 miles long and will begin at 9 a.m.
The Waverly Shell Rock High School speech team competed at the state competition in Waterloo this weekend. WSR had 11 events get an overall 1 rating, with 2 more qualifying for All-State. Those events are Emma Withers' individual mime and a group mime with Maddie Wessel and Emma Withers.
A recent beetle infestation has put many of Bremer County's trees at risk. The emerald ash borer beetle has been the reason for the decline of the ash trees throughout the Midwest. Michigan has already lost an estimated 3 million ash trees. If found in Bremer County, over 600 trees are estimated to be cut down in the Waverly area alone.
The emerald ash borer is a beetle that actually burrows into the bark of ash trees, lays eggs, then the larva from the eggs eats just underneath the bark, and that prevents the nutrients from going up the tree, and that's what kills the trees. It's the most destructive pest that trees have had since the Dutch elm disease.
And now Jesse Kielman joins us now with a first look at today's forecast.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Well, it's been a cold one so far this year in the Cedar Valley, but things are shaping up just a little bit here in the coming days. Current temperature is about 13 degrees. We're seeing just the end of a little bit of snowfall. Not a whole lot of accumulation there, much less than an inch. We're going to see things heat up to about 20 degrees around the noon hour. They're going to spike about 22 degrees later on in the afternoon before coming down to 20 again and cooling off for your evening. Looking ahead to tomorrow, though, for your morning commute, we're looking at 21 degrees, and we're going to see that spike all the way up to 31 degrees over the noon hour. Now, for the weather that we've been having so far this year, that's got to feel like a heat wave. Coming down to 29 degrees and then cooling off overnight. I'm going to let you know what that means for your weekend and much more coming up in my full forecast.
It's a little bit of snow for us this morning.
A little bit, but it's getting to be 31 degrees. It's going to be real balmy. I'm going to bust out the Hawaiian shirt.
Sounds good. Now, coming up after the break, Wartburg's newly elected student body president joins us to talk about his plans for the upcoming school year.
And in just 2 minutes, find out what national stories you need to know in today's Top 5. Stay with us. Actress and former U.S. Ambassador Shirley Temple Black died Monday night. Sources say she died peacefully in her California home of natural causes. Many believe that she was the most famous child actress in the history of Hollywood. She was 85 years old. Court hearings continue for the loud music trial in Florida. Michael Dunn was accused of shooting at an SUV at a gas station after an argument with a group of teens in the vehicle that their music was too loud. Dunn said he saw a weapon in the vehicle, though investigation revealed that there was none. Jordan Davis died in the incident. Dunn's fiancée testified yesterday in court. The United States government plans to recognize same-sex unions in federal law. It would provide same-sex couples with the same benefits that married couples receive, such as federal assistance during bankruptcy or the death of a spouse who is a firefighter or police officer. The changes would also overrule the 34 states where same-sex marriage is not recognized. 3.7 million car seats from the manufacturer Graco have been recalled in one of the biggest product recalls ever. The government is also requesting the company recalls almost 2 million more as well because of an issue while buckling. The release buttons can get stuck and not allow a child to be taken out of the seat during emergencies. It wasn't quite like the miracle on ice, but was still an impressive win for the women's Olympic hockey team. Team USA won 9-0 against Switzerland. They scored 3 goals in the first 55 seconds while in the first period. So far, Norway is leading the overall Olympic medal count with a total of 11, followed closely by Canada with 9. The U.S. is in 5th. This has been your Cedar Valley Today Top 5. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Jackie. Wartburg College elected their new student body president last night, and they are joining us now in the studio. Thank you so much for being here today, Jacob.
Thanks for having me.
So, what was your reaction when you found out you had won?
Well, we were gathered around with a bunch of our friends and supporters who had kind of helped us out throughout the campaign, and I got a phone call from now President Zach Summers, and he said, it's been a really close race, kind of kept me on the hook for a few seconds, but then finally said that we'd won, and it was really a good moment, kind of a way to pay off for all of the work that we've done.
Mm-hmm. And you won by 19 votes, right?
Correct.
So how did that make you feel?
It was a really close margin. Obviously, a win is a win, so we're really happy about it, but it just means that both sides fought really well in this, and I think it was a great outcome.
Now, how do you feel like you connected with your voters?
Well, we did a lot to try to make sure students knew that we were there to support them. We've been at a lot of events throughout the past few weeks, and that's something that we definitely plan to continue as the school year goes on next year. And we did a lot of outreach. We knocked on every door on campus, talked to voters, anyone who had questions. We were more than happy to answer them. So I think that showed people that we really did care about what they had to say and made them think that we would be a good fit for student body president and vice president.
So what would you say the most difficult part is about campaigning?
I think the most difficult part is just convincing people that you're sincere about it. By the very nature of the process, it's kind of one of those things where if you're out campaigning, people think, okay, well, he's just talking to me to try to get my vote. And so for the first part, it was kind of difficult getting people to realize that I'm not asking them what they want to see changed on campus just because I want them to feel like I care. I want them to know that I do care, and that I actually do take those very seriously and consider all of them.
Great. Well, thank you for being here this morning.
Well, thank you.
Coming up after the break, the Cedar Bend Humane Society will tell us how to spend the Valentine's Day love to the area animals. And we've got full coverage of today's weather for you after the break. We'll be right back.
Current temperatures are around 13 degrees. A little bit of snowfall, just kind of ending that. Not a whole lot of accumulation there, so not a whole lot to be worried about. Later on here, around the noon hour, we're going to see temperatures rise to about 20 degrees. See it peak around 22 during the afternoon and come back down to 20 for your evening commute before chilling out for the evening. Looking ahead to tomorrow, then, we're going to see temperatures start at 21 degrees and spike all the way up to 31 degrees. Now, I don't know about you folks at home, but for me, that's going to feel like a heat wave. It's going to come down just a little bit to 29 degrees and cool off overnight then. What does this mean for your weekend? Well, Friday's going to be a little bit chillier again, partly sunny, 17 degrees, but for Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see 27 and 30 degrees, so it's going to hold pretty warm for us, 30 degrees and partly sunny on Sunday. Now looking around the state, here in western Iowa, they're kind of ending the snowfall for the day. Again, not a whole lot of accumulation. Really no accumulation across the state, less than an inch. But it's already wrapped up here in western Iowa. And as we move east, they're going to see snow till about noon today. But again, not a whole lot of accumulation there. Around the nation, New York and Washington seeing snowfall, 27 and 32 degrees today. Seeing snowfall today and sleet over tomorrow, overnight and tomorrow. Miami is raining, Seattle's seeing some rain, and Los Angeles is at 81 degrees and balmy. Looking like a warm weekend, and next week we're going to start off pretty balmy as well. And now over to Jackie.
Jesse, the Cedar Bend Humane Society is hosting a Valentine's Day celebration this Saturday from 10 to 4. There'll be food, refreshments, and best of all, reduced price pet adoptions. Joining us here now with some furry friends is Humane Society volunteer Alan Malone. Thanks for joining us, Alan.
Good morning.
First of all, can you tell us who else is joining us here today?
Yep, well, you're actually holding Stormy, and Stormy is a 2-year-old male, and he's up for adoption, and he was surrendered to the shelter because a landlord wouldn't allow them to have pets, so they couldn't unfortunately have him, so they ended up surrendering him to the shelter. And then this is Charlie, and Charlie is a 3-year-old male, and Charlie is one of our longest residents. He's been there since the 9th of November. But the thing also about Charlie is that he actually came in from another humane society, and he had been there for over a year. So he's actually spent about half of his life in a shelter. But he's a fantastic dog, and both of them are up for adoption this weekend.
And many others, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
What should someone know about adopting a pet for Valentine's Day?
Well, I think that anytime that you adopt a pet or anytime that you go and even purchase a pet, it shouldn't be sort of a rash decision. So you sort of know exactly what they're going to need. With dogs, they're going to need sort of constant attention during the day. They're going to need to be walked and everything like that. So cats are going to be able to take care of themselves a little easier. But also you want to make sure that you sort of understand the personality of the dog or the cat as well. If you have other animals, that they're able to get along with each other. So then that's why we sort of ask people to bring in any of their dogs to meet any of the animals that they're interested in, just so that they have an initial meeting and see that they get along.
Valentine's Day coming up, lots of gifts. Is it a good idea to give a pet as a surprise gift?
Well, probably not, just because you never know how somebody's going to react. I think it's a wonderful idea if somebody wants to, then they can sort of talk to either a family member or their significant other about it, and be able to come in and have them have a say in who they want, because you never know. Somebody may turn around and go, I love Great Danes, and the spouse that you're getting it for may not love Great Danes. They may love a smaller cat.
And we know there's going to be reduced price pet adoptions on Saturday.
That's correct.
Can you explain what else is happening at that event?
Well, we're going to have some door prizes when people are there. There are also going to be some snacks and giveaways, and there also will be some gift baskets that people can buy raffle tickets for.
And why is it important to support humane societies?
Well, unfortunately, humane societies sort of exist because there is an overpopulation of pets. So, if a good day for us is when we have empty kennels, because it means that all those animals do have homes. So, whenever we have animals in the shelter, it means that we do have too many animals in the population. So, being able to support your local humane society wherever it is, or any sort of the local rescue groups that take care of animals, is always a good idea, because then hopefully that we'll be able to find them homes and lower the population.
All right, we hope a lot get adopted on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Empty kennels.
Yeah.
All right, and once again, the Cedar Bend Humane Society's Valentine's Day celebration is this Saturday from 10 to 4 at 166 Airline Highway. And coming up next in sports, the wrestling team traveled to Cornell College Monday in preparation for Friday's Iowa Conference Championship duel. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. This is Cedar Valley Sports. I'm Justin Zacconi. The wrestling team traveled to Cornell College for a tune-up before the IIAC Championship duel Friday.
The wrestling team traveled to Cornell College Monday in preparation for the Iowa Conference Championship Friday night. Connor Campo rebounded from an off night Thursday as he takes down Samuel Chalkley here. He won on a 14-3 decision. Mark Pinero had a tough draw against number 9 Trevor Engel at 149. The match went to OT, but Engel bested him in the extra frame as he wins 3-1. Puna Soriano had a disappointing encore effort Monday after defeating number 1 Mark Herschel at the Battle of the Bergs last Thursday. He got shut up by number 5 Alex Coolidge 7-0 and goes into Friday on a sour note. Gilberto Camacho, Brent Yankovic, and Ryan Fink were all left home for this one. Fink's replacement, sophomore Ben Nagel, did his best impression as he grinded out a 6-5 win to upsell a 26-15 team victory for the Knights.
The men's basketball team got back on track Saturday in Dubuque thanks to one senior having one of the best games of his career. Wartburg struggled in the first half, getting down as much as 11 after Luke Berry hits this three here, but would cut the lead to 6 at the break. Lords continue to stay ahead of Wartburg in the second half as Bobby Harmoning takes the rebound and dribbles coast to coast right past the Knights D for the easy layup and the 1-point lead. Senior Taylor Jacobsmeyer took matters into his own hands in the second half as he drains this triple a little later to give the Knights a 74-72 lead late. Then the next possession, Jacobsmeyer hits another tray to extend Wartburg's lead to 5 with 3 minutes left. He had a career-high 22 points, including 15 in the second half. That was all they needed from him as the Knights secured an 85-80 win to earn the season sweep over the Dewhawks. Wartburg made 27 of 31 free throws on the day. They will play tonight at home against Simpson. That game will be on Night Vision with tip-off at 8 p.m. The women's basketball team was also in Dubuque Saturday, but left with a heartbreaking loss. We'll pick things up in the second half as Elisa Bilderbeck gets good post position and puts in the layup to go up 5 with 3 minutes left to play. But the undefeated Dewhawks didn't quit as they moved the ball down court at the end of the half, and Lauren Byrne gets it to Victoria May, who forces a shot over Mary Brown that goes in to tie the game at 57, and we have some bonus basketball ahead. In OT, Kaylee Kladovo and Bilderbeck shouldered the offensive load. Boulderbeck hit her biggest basket of the game here when Alyssa Sager gets the ball in the post, but she is fouled but makes the layup for the and one chance. She missed a free throw to give Wartburg a 2-point lead with 26 left. That turned out to be huge as on the next possession, Loris gets the ball to the wide open Kathleen Cabrera, who makes the tray and gives Loris a 66-65 lead. Wartburg missed their final shot as the Dewhawks deal the Knights a devastating defeat. The loss drops on the 2-8 in conference play. They will play again tonight versus Simpson at 6 p.m. on Night Vision. Coverage starts at 5:50 p.m. Be sure to log on to the Wartburg Circuit for the latest on all things Wartburg sports. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to Cedar Valley today. While the weather might have us down here in the Cedar Valley, it could be worse. Case in point, freezing rain in North Texas has caused quite the commotion. Among the havoc is a 10-mile traffic backup and a 32-car pileup. Now, if you're starting to feel really badly for our friends in Dallas, just know they'll be seeing 70-degree weather by the end of the week. While we won't be quite at 70 degrees, things are heating up a bit for us as well. Today we'll only be seeing about 22 degrees, but tomorrow we're going to be looking at a balmy 34 degrees. Going into the weekend, we'll be looking at a high of 17 on Friday and near 30 degrees throughout the rest of the weekend and into next week. But if you still want to be jealous of someone, just be jealous of our friends in Los Angeles. They're looking at 78 degrees today and won't be dipping to below 7 degrees in the foreseeable future.
All right, thanks, Jesse. Be sure to check out our Cedar Valley Today Facebook page for all of our stories, and you can also check out the Wartburg Circuit as well.
That's all the time we have for today, but thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.